Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all my kings and queens. Never forgetting about everyone that's in between. If you're watching the video, take a second, take a deep breath. In that moment, you had control. It gets better. We rock it out. Oh, with my favoriteest person. I met her so shortly. Our time physically together was so brief, but I feel like she's my best friend for life. I love her. Her name is Robin. How are you doing today, love?
I am doing absolutely wonderful, love. How are you?
Oh my goodness, it's cold. I know I'm from the north. I live up north. Been always up north. I don't like the winter when it comes every time. It's like the heat is out in the building too. So I've like got layers underneath this sweater right now. But oh my goodness. It hurts. But let's point out something here, right? Because we're not coming in hot. But the way I talk or post things a lot comes across as hot. Because I know we in 2023. Everybody's doing all the what's the word? Shock value to try to get views and go viral. I try to avoid that. I just actually talk that way. You know, like say something crazy, I'm like, what do you mean? I don't try to. So that brings me to I made a post on Facebook because I've been asking this question in real life. And the responses I got, I'm out of like deleting the post because like the responses I got were the same as in real life. I personally, if I would have followed my dreams without the shame monster or what is it, the shame wizard from Big Mouth, it wasn't the shame wizard telling me to be, I would probably be in Europe as a rocker, genuinely be a rock star, you know, like I don't know if it'd be spikes. I'd probably have like some type of like werewolf esque, it'd be like furs, definitely claws, you know, fangs. Yeah, it'd be like a silver fangs though, like different colored. So men with painted nails. If I see that, if I just saw like a dude, he's talking like me. Oh, you must be goth or punker, punk rocker. I've been running into this, and it's been real. Just they only listen to rap, only listen to country, and they'll be in the same breath. I'll just say it, blatantly homophobic. What's happening? What? Huh? What? Have we gotten to the point in 2023 where, since we're post Me Too and cancel culture, that we've removed labels so much? I don't even know. Like, what question am I trying to ask right now? Like, what is like we've worked so hard to remove labels, but now it's like, why are we all crossing all the things that everybody does? I don't, I don't know. How do you find your tribe of everybody's doing everything?
I have that tribe. I
But
grew up in that tribe.
see, like,
I actually do a lecture at one of my festivals. It's called Breaking the Labels.
give me some, because like I see the toxic part of us breaking through where like some people feel reserved because like yeah, being a dude. I remember what are those things called? The popsicle sticks. You make the cross out of it, and then you like tie the yarn around it to make it the full
O-
on.
Odin's eye
Yeah, with the yarn.
or God's eye.
There, yes, the God's eye when you do it with the yarn, right? Yeah. So like I remember being a kid when I first learned all that. I was like, oh, I was sitting on my porch. I was like, this is so fascinating. So I was just having them hanging from the thing. I was like, oh, so fascinating. And I can make them really fast too. Then some guys walked by and they did like the little like running by little. I was like, oh, I guess I'm not supposed to do that. But educate me. So catch me up. Because I'm for expressing yourself, but it's just like, where exp- help me.
So, I mean, there shouldn't be labels. There shouldn't. There are some people who prefer to have them because it gives them guidelines on who they feel about themselves, who they want to be, who they want to be categorized as. One of the lectures that I do is about breaking the labels because we have people who are pansexual, transsexual. We have people who are just all across the board with their sexuality preferences, and that's great. They have a preference for that, but there are some people who, like me, I I think I'm labeled as a pansexual. I don't really necessarily fall under what that definition is because I break labels. I am me and I am comfortable being me. So, I've gone and done and been a drag king. It's been fun, and I have been blessed that the generation before me and my generation has taken extreme measures to feel comfortable with themselves. So I'm going to do whatever it is that's going to make me feel comfortable because I don't need a label. I'm just going to do the thing because it's soul comfort.
That was the line you said too. We got to put that on some merch. We need to put that
Mhm.
on some merch because that is a gorgeous line. So I guess maybe that is that's what I said. You were on to it because you saying all that made the question that I'm trying to figure out. So is it? I'm guessing my pushback because most of my like I get this cringy static feeling when I look at groups of people and it's like you're you're not on with what you're doing. This would be like episode, when I release this, will be like 17, I think. And since episode 7, I have made a glitter bashing statement. I would be a hypocrite to join in anything glitter related. I hate it. I hate it with my soul. I do. Oh, and let's see. My lovely friend here that I have interviewing was my boss at a point, and I love her because she didn't make me use the glitter. It was, and it was
Just
back, and it was.
remember the gold confetti? It was
Oh,
worth the glitter.
it was everywhere. It was all sizes. It was like it was I don't even know. Like I felt like it was slicing into my soul or something. Like did it slice underneath my skin and sit there like right under that thin layer that burns off when you get a sunburn? That's what I felt like it was sitting right under. Glitter bash, glitter bash, glitter bash. But me bringing that is like I know for a fact I steer clear of those territories and the toxic. I'm only saying that as far as of people avoiding situations where they're toxic. So I think there's the connecting point I heard was it's not so much that it bothers me because I think this is a general consensus is most of the cisgendered heterosexual males that I've talked to. It's not like gay doesn't bother anybody. Universally, what bothers all of us is people hiding who they are. And it's a thing, and that's why specifically Bud has bugged me, the guys, because the only guys who's bugged me with the nails are the ones who are like super homophobic. Because it's like, how are you so labelly in a box, but you also at the same time breaking labels? That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. That
I think
sounds like
just following the fad and not realizing where the fad's actually coming from. Like I mentioned the other day in the post, we have so many cis men around here who are painting their nails as part of it's symbolic to show that they're willing to do that to support other tribes and communities and our own community. They're saying, okay, well, I'm supposed to, I present this because this is who I am, but I'm comfortable enough with myself. I'm comfortable enough with you being comfortable with your soul that I'm going to paint my nails and I'm going to support you in that.
you know what? I love that. I'm not painting my nails. That's just me personally. I'm not bashing nobody either. Let me make that actual statement. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm not. People say, you got a daughter. Daddy don't do nails. Daddy will get you a bunch of dolls and hands if you want to do that though. Uh, I like that. That's kind of a platform. I love that whole like, oh, because
Have you
I'm
ever gotten a
processing it
manicure?
as a,
Have you ever gotten a manicure?
man, by force, I sat down at one point in time and I hated it. But I don't. Like I don't like. It just I'm cringy with certain things like that. However, my significant other, say Diamond, she if she does my nails, it's soothing. But I don't know, maybe it's being in public or is it people I don't, because I don't really like people touching me. I don't know. I think that's really the main problem I have with it. Is like, why are you just intimate with me right now? This is real intimate. Like I'm sitting still, like you.
Well, your fingertips have all the sensory, like right here, and you have someone else just rubbing on it. I could see how that would be cringe for you.
Needly, like it's you hold it, it's real gentle. You holding my hand too. I'm just like, why are you massaging it as we go? You know, I got carpal tunnel. You massage my hands. That's an intense feeling for me. There, it's a ooh. Don't do that. Don't be.
So it's not actually the color of your fingertips that you have issue with. It's somebody that you're not familiar with touching your fingertips.
And the feeling of the actual nail polish too. I grew up with girls, and all you girls that's tuning in to watch it, it's y'all fault. But y'all force stuff on me. Yeah, don't think I remember. Don't think I
So it's
don't
a trauma
remember.
response.
No, I just don't like the feeling. You know, I'm a dirty kid. It's really because I'm a dirty kid. You know, I do dirty stuff. I don't care how anybody processes that. I'm filthy when I do things. I'm like, ooh, look at this dirt thing. Ooh, let me dig this up. That's me. So I'm always a hand washer, and you know, I'm a cook too. So it just I don't like sticky hands after a certain while. It's just then I'm like, oh, this is on my hand still. Why is this? Why is this here? Let me scratch it off. And you know, I was a drawer. Like I'm surprisingly not tatted up. I was drawing on myself, but that bothers me after a while. Like, okay, let me get it off. It's already too much. I'm twitchy. It's my spectrum. I'm on it. Let me slow down talking. I was like, you need to slow down. I get excited. If I'm talking to you and I'm always talking slow, either I'm really concentrating or you bore me. If I never, those peaks don't happen, you're a boring person.
I got 45 other browsers going on in the background as you're talking to me.
Oh man, mouth moves faster than my brain still. It's catching up from time to time. We promote the 420 and the THCs here. I finally told my mom about that, but that's a that brings us to the main, because for this segment of its episodes, I want to make sure I ask everybody one main question because it's a time capsule-ish scenario. If you could treat this video, knocking on wood, because we don't poke the bear. DTM Entertainment, DTM Network, DTM Infinity, and all of its subsidiary affiliates do not poke the bear because there's some time travel witch with a monkey's paw. Listening, no, we don't want that scenario. So we have the video. We used to take the rest of this video, and you can send messages back to teenage you, specifically in regards to relationships, not just romantic, but genuinely us interacting with people.
Ooh.
What which you say? Yeah, that's why we got to do the knocks because children exist. So you're like, wait a minute, children are here. Don't do that whole Twilight Zone where they just disappear because they said something. No, I get it. So time travel witch, boom, it happens. Somehow children exist, but what are the messages you would like tell teenage you? You ain't got to rank them. We just gonna toss them all out there.
Mm. Your feelings are not my responsibility.
Oh, period. Because it's intense, especially us empaths. I feel your feelings, so I want to cater a bit. There's a cutoff point. There's a cutoff point. Ooh, how do we even tell teenagers that? How do we expound on that?
Well, um, I would say I would give examples of my past. I'm going to be 36 next week.
Hell yeah.
Um,
You are February birthday. Hold up. The beginning. Okay.
it actually took me until about 3 years ago to hear someone else say that it finally resonated with me. I don't know how much time and relationships that I have spent catering to how someone else feels, how someone else is going to react, and you end up losing yourself doing that. And I had someone tell me that, and I sat with it. I have started approaching conversations with other people that way. Like, I can be here, I can sympathize with how you feel, but I can't take on responsibility for how you react to me living my best life.
Nah, yeah. And I have to always tell everybody I'm still in y'all videos for teenage me. So the videos, teenage me gonna see the video because we gonna all link up somehow because teenage me gonna know we become friends.
Mhm.
No, yeah, yeah. Because that translates definitely like heavy. That resonates with me heavy in like my professional life. Because a lot of I'm not a good teacher. I'm just a good engager. That's what I say. Like, I engage people very well because I'm like a dog. I'm just fascinated when people say things fascinating, and it's like, oh, you don't know this? Let's talk about it. Let's teach each other about it. So that's definitely like, oh yeah. Ziva would constantly say teaching was noble, and that was the thing. Like, it was literally getting pushed on me because like everybody's teachers I grew up around, so they're like, yeah, and that's not my feelings on it. You feel this way, like the all of your reasonings for justifying it, like is just because you feel like teaching's noble, and you're making me, you want me to feel literally the same way you do about it, and it's like, no, I really want to be frolicking in the woods. Actually, you say my job with an axe, chopping trees out the way or something. You know, it's not a lumberjack. Chopping trees I need for make my little tree house because we could be living in tree houses. Stupid forefathers.
Wookiee village.
Hmm?
A Wookiee village.
Oh yes, oh yes, praise them. Yes, out man. See, we could have that could have been the society.
Yeah.
We could that could have been it. We could have integrated, let the trees grow more. Imagine how much we'd be breathing better if everything was like tree houses, like swings, conveyor type, like railway.
Wait, so if this video is for our teenage selves, then we have created an alternate reality where our teenage selves are like, let's do this. So we just created an alternate reality where Wookiee villages and tree houses are societal norms.
I'm for this. I'm for this.
High
Let me
five.
put it. Let's do this. What year we doing this? All right. So let's just say like we sending it back to like, let's put it at an even Y2K. You know, let's just took it like preteenish age. Let's just go right for 2000 right there. As soon as we like boom, had to be yeah. What can we do? Because we didn't have that's 23 years of time change. We had hybrid cars completely be a thing. We could we can do this.
Well, no. If we're living our best life in tree houses, we wouldn't want to do cars because then they're going to try and cut into
No, that's
our.
what I'm saying. We would be able to somehow. I feel like because we was coming up in this green. Because what is it the I try not to Google certain things, and that's part of the platform. Like everything we talk about is off the cuff. But what is the environmental French Act or whatever? Everybody's got to reduce their carbon footprint because we like from 2000 to now. That's when America finally jumped in, like trying to speed that up. I feel like that'd have been the perfect era for us coming up. Like, oh yeah, if we get these ordinances and all of the like district and commonwealths, like this is will help reduce the carbon footprint that we make like all of Ohio
That would
a
have
Wookiee
given us
state.
plenty of time to make friends with architects and engineers so
Mm-hmm.
that we could have formed a planning committee and gotten the ordinance all. We could have done all that before we even turned 23.
Honestly, because that's the ages you want to do that activist stuff. What is the Greta Thunberg? That's when you get a seat at the UN when you're a teenager doing stuff like that. Once you get to our age, you just got to make a podcast and see how many people tune in. you know? Oh my goodness, I'm like imagining like, because granted, no, you're right. Because even growing up, I probably would like embrace more theater looking things, and we was like, you're talking 2000.
hmm
Yeah, because I didn't grow up with like internet for real. So like we talking Wookiee living where we done got full on insulated Inuit village style clay wood style moldings. Oh yeah, we would just be doing hella theater. I
hmm
wouldn't be I wouldn't be messed up on no internet if we talking at 2000. People listen, somebody like, nah, I can't do nah. Think about it. What was you doing in 2000? Let's flip it over because we all healthy. Because that means in our commonwealth, we got electricity because we got medicine. We gonna keep the medicine things going. We ain't stupid, you know.
Look,
But
so all right, if we were talking about 2000, we would have had the planning committee locked. We would have, because I spent a lot of time smoking and being in little circles where we plan the future all the time. If I would have had a direction, I'd have been dangerous.
No, for real. Because I'm a worker. I like work. Like I am a worker. I'm a behind the scenes guy. That's why you heard her saying, "Oh, need a worker like you." Yes, I am the number two you want to have. I am, because I like being behind the scenes. Oh yeah, we'd have been working. Because teenage us, yes, link up. We gonna do this. We the parent that we're just gonna get this done. Because it's winter. I was just trying to imagine winter, but it's like, no, we'd have worked it out. We had plenty of time to figure it out. That's what you got engineers for. We have wood. We have ways. We've actually, folks back in the day, what is that? Mesopotamian folks mastered ceramics. And we actually have technology behind it and science to understand the shit now. So we insulating would be a breeze.
Or lack of one.
We'd have figured it out. We'd have figured it out because we got trees and stuff. We'd have figured out ways to. Oh man!
I was just saying insulation would have prevented a breeze.
See, that's why I love you. I be talking to myself too much. I've been in this traveling and do nothing but work. I feel like my wit has left me some. I was bartending in Virginia. Loved it. The level of let me not even attach Virginia to it. This is something I pointed in my adult life because teenage Sam, people aren't as clever as you give them credit for. That would help me find the people who are, because a lot of times people who said things, I took it as, oh, they're smart. They're keeping up. No. No. A lot of those times it was I do bits. People that are my friends, y'all recognize it when it's a bit and y'all follow suit with it. I'm not like, I don't even know how other people really categorize what I be doing. I'm not making nothing up. Like, it was a joke. You ain't see that? You ain't watch it? You ain't hear it? I'm quoting something. Okay. Teenage Sam, if they don't get it, let's move on. Just because in the past few years, the associates I've been around hasn't been a high pool of wit for me to practice this conversing thing back and forth with. I got called pretentious a lot. I'm like, what is, huh? Like, now y'all using $10 words. I ain't even saying nothing. What? I digress.
It's that knowledge.
I miss Ohio. I miss Ohio. I miss it. I love, because it's like race relations things. Like, because that'd be a big one. I would love to sit talk. Like, since we talking in our alternate universe, we already activists. Let's keep running with it. Because I always talk to folks living in Ohio, coming from Illinois. Let me understand a different type of racism. Because, and I say a different type, and I use racism specifically to speak to a toxic section of my Black community, because we got to police ourselves. There is an actual thing as accidental racism in 2023. Only because if you literally grew up in the North, your racism was different to you. It was just different. Like, you wasn't up here lynching motherfuckers, but you was calling them boy. That's the thing. Like, I've worked with some folks out there. Dude patted me on the head. He never told you about boss he did that. I'm like, why are you patting me on the head? I almost slapped the shit out of dude. He did it too, but it's like, well, he saw me. I was offended. I saw the wheels turning. It's like a lot of folks don't know shit is offensive. Because what did I round up the other day was offensive? Chupacabra.
What?
If you call, like, in specific sections, like, what is it, El Salvador, if you call somebody from El Salvador Chupacabra, that's like saying, with your ugly ass. That's the same thing. But I didn't
I
you
didn't
know.
even know that was a thing. I took that extremely literal. I'm like, wow, they're a beast.
Right? That was my thought too. I'm thinking that's what they was calling dude. Like, he's a beast. No, that's the only friend. If I'm calling you that, I'm calling you that offensively. If a friend calls you that, yeah, they calling you like, oh, you a beast. The flirt. Like, oh, you flirt with your little ugly ass. You got her anyway. I don't know you. I shouldn't be calling you that. I didn't. Again, people don't know things if you don't tell them. Just the thing.
See, that goes back to societal norms too. I mean, like I just stated, I would have thought that was a beast. So, because I heard you say it and you're in my circle, I would have gone around and said that to somebody else. I got punched out for that, Sam.
See, that's the problem, right? I don't got you sent the fuck. Because I'm gonna say it because so everybody knows the relationship I have with this lovely woman here. Because I feel like Jiggerboo, somebody fucked up. Who fucked up and decided for Jiggerboo to be a racial slur? We could have the Jigger babies right now. It could be a bunch of little dancing gummy bean candies. We're the Jigger babies. We're the But no. Porch monkey. We could have literal porch. If porch monkey wasn't a slur, teenage us. Let's work on taking away porch monkey because we can keep the monkeys unendangered. What's the little monkey that can like fit on your finger?
No, I don't know, but I want one.
Right. Let's push for that because those could be porch monkeys. We could start a business called Porch Monkey, and and we justify it. It's the little monkey helper.
All right, but then I would have to be like, you would have to be in charge of that one.
You right? Because it'll be a rough battle.
It could not be my face.
You right? You right? It wasn't good back then. You're right. We jumping ahead some years with some with some mixing and softening of these reactions. Let's put it that way.
But you're right. Like, if teenage us would have completely neutralized the term, so it didn't mean anything anymore.
Because that would be the platform. And you know what? This was weird. What YouTube wasn't even a thing, man. What was it still like? It was a live round. Right? We was on LimeWire and all torrent. Just torrent. Mm-hmm. It was just so many computers bit the dust. Just
so many. The only time in my life I was a pirate.
Oh yeah, on there. Lovely times. Oh yes, lovely time. We felt like hackers a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, having stuff that shouldn't be released. Oh yeah, like how'd you see that movie come out next month? I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I got to connect.
Be like, look, $10 and I'll burn it for you. Yeah.
I had it hard drives full of shit. Hard. Good times, man. So we'd have took out because we'd have had our movement as the internet was growing. When YouTube and all of that was jumping, we'd have been on the front run. Teenagers, notes. This is when you had paper out. Like, because we would have been on the forefront of all the YouTubes. Because, YouTube and like World Star, mm-hmm. They pretty much all like jumped at the same time because World Star's popularity definitely helped YouTube because it was just all the fights were on World Star. There was like funny tutorials were on YouTube, and I feel like there was another video site. Too many torrent memories. I have no idea what's on the top. All of those random watch movie websites were popping into my brain. But again, those would have been on the floor. Yep. Yeah.
Napster was the first one to do the music videos that you were able to copy and then put in your it was before MySpace. It was something journal was before MySpace, and you could just copy the music video from that and put it in your website, and it would do the video on the computer.
See, that's MySpace. Here's the crazy part. Teenage us, take the note. When MySpace crash, buy it. Buy it soon as MySpace crash. Because I guarantee right now, if somebody was to open MySpace back up, it'll be the biggest one. It'd be the biggest out of all the sites because of all the HTML coding they was teaching us before we knew that was what it was. mind blown. Like, what? That's how you call donation? Because I hated all you people that had voicemails, the personalized videos. Every inch you scroll, the whole thing changes. Like, y'all, how much you do for this? Teenagers buy MySpace because that's gonna help with the movement. We gonna open MySpace back up, and that's gonna be. You ain't even gonna change the name.
And then you need to sell as soon as Facebook or starts getting a little like as soon as your friends start talking about Facebook, that's when you sell.
That's it. Because that's it. That's it.
And we will be able to afford our Wookiee village.
That's the fun then. And don't forget, and don't forget that what is it, 2022? GameStop. It's GameStop. Just GameStop. Sit on it. Just sit on it. Don't even worry about it. Don't sell nothing. Wait till 2022. Trust us. Trust us on GameStop. No one could have saw that coming. Nah, man. I'm gonna push the main part of I have like 72 different main parts because I have 72 main thoughts going at a single time. So anytime I say the main thought, yeah, it's all the main thought. We want to blur the lines in a healthy way because I understand a lot of I want to use prudish because the word prudish changed. We say 1950s, prudish husband was the one who was all the wife had to be completely covered up with the big flowing dress, hair is just regular. Those were the prudish people. You have sex with your husband? Like, yes.
You guys sleep in the same room?
He's seen you in a robe. That was the 50s. Okay. Yeah, it was the back then, sure. Now we got a whole different type of prude where the prude is you're a man with your nails painted. Cause I'll hear I always feel like I'm in the middle. So for we got receivers and wielders. That's the DTM network way of being completely PC of just summing everybody up. Cause that's my own personal beliefs, like honestly, because again, sex is everything. So you're either a receiver or a wielder in these categories, or you would want to be both. Even if you're a wielder, you could be a receiver that wields. Boom.
Switch.
So boom. I believe hardly. I'm gonna say because you were all right. So we got receivers, wielders, switch, but we switch, boom. Damn, I forgot my main point because I was about to just wanted to dive into that deeper. Okay, it's this. I feel like I'm always standing in the middle of certain points because I'll see the guys with the painted nails. I would have to question like, nigga, you was just gay bashing. What are you doing? And the dude you were gay bashing, he's more manly than you. That nigga can take an alternator out of his car. Your car had a flat tire and you couldn't change it. I'm confused why you're bashing. But then you have some of the girls again because this is one of my big things. I've been arguing on the proverbial you side of the podcast of the DTM network podcasting there. It's not so much. It's not other straight men that have implanted a lot of the fortification around the homophobia, as so much as a lot of the women that was fortifying it because that was a thing growing up. I didn't give a shit when those guys ran by me doing that little hand thing. What solidified it was that there were girls with them agreeing. That's what this lock-in tied the bow. I was like, oh, these dudes, I'm a dude. I grew up getting roasted. I don't give a shit. I got glasses on my face forever. And then you got 4 eyes. I'm like, I punched so many people in the right here specifically. It's like, where's my other set of eyes? They would try to touch my glasses. I'd punch them in the rib. Like, why? I'm like, because I can poke you in the eye so you can see how you just put your fingerprint in my vision. Guys roast. It was the girls agreeing. I'm like, oh, I guess it is not a thing boys are supposed to do. If girls think it's bad. That's why I'm in the middle. You hear the girls. Nah, that nigga gay. He gay. Man, don't paint their fingernails. I was like, whoa. But then they have another girl right next to her saying, I don't want my man to get a manicure with me. We got to police our people a little bit. It's like, be quiet.
Not me. I want the company with the going and getting the manicure and the pedicure. Like there's nothing wrong with it. And you know, one of the things that you referenced was something that you happened when you were a kid. Is that the way you're going to raise your daughter?
See, I jump for joy the fact that it's like trucks and dinosaurs. Like, yeah. It's simultaneously trucks, dinosaurs, and makeup. I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm
Mhm.
nailing it as a parent right now. I'm fucking nailing it. Because you going to be a good one. She's strong. She be bodying the little boys at daycare. That's the first review I got. It was like, oh, this little boy tried to sit in the seat with her. She was sitting. And just, excuse me. Just bodied the little boy completely after. Yeah, she's strong. She's strong as hell. All right. Obviously, folks who don't know who my baby mama is, that's the whole thing. She's one of the few women that can knock the wind out of me, like with a punch to the ribs. Anyway, I hope she don't watch that part so she knows that she can actually do damage. It'd be a win. It's like, girl, yeah. Every time. Anyway, I'm not promoting domestic violence. Oh, fucking Chicago, folks. Anyway, what was I just saying? What was it? You was about to say something. What was it?
To recap, I was talking about how we were raised a certain way, and we still, you and I, do not act the way that we were raised. Like,
There we go. Yeah.
we're very open-minded people, and we surround ourselves with open-minded people. So therefore, our children watch us in circles where we are open-minded, and we put that out into the universe. So as they're raised within that circle, they're going to come up, and it's going to be what, another 20 years maybe, where they're
Hopefully.
going to be making decisions that affect their generation and their children. So we're doing what we can to break societal norms from when we were children, so that we could put that soul comfort out there for everybody.
No, factual. Because factual. What was the one of the big debates? And I actually recorded this with my phone, but I wound it up not wanting to use it. It was me, ultimately. I'm working on it. A lot of people want me to use the controversial side of arguments, and it's like, if I have to get too bigoted in my responses so the person I'm talking to can see how bigoted they sound or how one streamlined, I don't feel safe using the content because of the way I talk. I don't talk linear, so I feel like it jump around too much, especially for me to get the point across. I'm really a troll and I am clever. So like they don't be noticing that I'm doing a bit. I'll be just saying stuff like, no, women are objects. I just that's how the conversation. I just started tossing it out there like, huh? Like, no, you have no opinion. You only have an opinion until you're in a relationship. Huh? It's like you have no opinion anymore. You're just an object. I'm paying all your bills. So what the fuck what do you have to say? You better have your ass home. Butt ass. That's how I have to talk. For them to be like, what? I'm like, that's what you just said though. You just straight up said that you don't have to do nothing. Man pays all the bills, but you work and you keep all your money. Like everything you just said to me is what you just said. You just called yourself a prostitute, but you didn't hear it. Because it started, everyone's confused. What are you talking about? The starting point was, what would you tell your daughter with dating? I'm like, I don't even remember how it started, but my response was, I would never tell my daughter she's the prize. That girls are the prize, especially from the world. That shit's fine. It's batshit crazy because that's why the world is the way it is.
That creates expectation and ego.
You got the Prince Charming shit. Like the Prince Charming thing is supposed to happen naturally because you see that person doing it. That's how you perceive it. Oh, he brought me the specific donut I wanted every day. That is the Prince Charming because that guy did it. That wielder did it. Like it's Prince Charming or wielder charming is just that you find charming. Because what's the How I Met Your Mother? Dahmer Doppler, dude from Casablanca. It's a How I Met Your Mother joke. Dude, you had Jeffrey Dahmer. His name rhymes with the dude from Casablanca. It's a thin line between romantic and not romantic. What's my man's? What's that movie with Rick Grimes in it? The actor Rick Grimes. What was it? Love Actually with the cards. You got the cards. Love Me with the music playing. Big ass poster boards dropping the boards. If someone you like does that, they applying pressure. Make it a random stranger pops right up in front of you with the I love you. And let me spend the rest of my life with you. Like that's how that translates real. That's Prince Charming people. But it, like, I couldn't explain none of that shit. Everybody just straight up running with the, because it was breastfeeding and what you call it in tandem. And I had to get pervy. Here's why I couldn't use it. And I'm going to just put it. This will be the reason this video doesn't get monetized for me explaining the jokes. Because I had to crack a lot of, like, you being a mother and you being a healthcare giver, you would call the police on me immediately if you heard me cracking these jokes. Because you would know for a fact I had a child somewhere that I was touching the wrong way, or I had a child locked in my basement. Because I was really going for these pedo jokes. I was running with it. Yeah, they think it's like a whole, like, we're not trying to put you in a box, not trying to put labels on you or anything like that. That's not really the big problem. It's like, you being a woman, yes, you know for a fact once you do the whole thing, oh wait, this is a food thing now, baby, food, different whole chemical thing happening. We're men, we're wielders, whatever, what have you. It's, oh, titty. Oh, a baby's attached to it. So those pedo jokes I'm running to. So somebody's doing that. That's the problem we have. You got a room full of 100 people. That one guy is getting really turned on by that baby milking you. It was like a solid 10-minute rant about me, like, legitimately really embracing the disgusting side of you. I said jokes I was disgusted with. I sat real quietly in the car when I got off work that day. I was like, where did I get any of those jokes? Just have to hold myself.
So one that is a fetish, that's an actual fetish. Two, so like the whole point with all of our, like, what we circle back to in all of our conversations in this episode comes back to, in this situation, the guy that wants someone to cover up, they feel uncomfortable about the thoughts that they are holding within themselves, and they are projecting onto the woman about their own thoughts and their own feelings and the way they're processing all of that they have to project it onto the woman, that it's her fault because she's.
And that's why I want to bring these, like, those type of specific topics up more. Cause I want to help. I steer away from that because it's not so much, because it's like, me man, me beat him chess. Me only know so much thing I can do in certain situations. So the oversimplified point of most of these things, like, we don't want our girls going out. It bothers the shit out of me, a group of girls going out really frillily dressed. It bothers me because of fear. Like, it's not nothing to do with the woman. It's like, yes, as you're right. And this is where I walk the line constantly. Go ahead, wear a swimsuit, wear a thong G-string, wherever the hell you want to. Wear what you want to. I'm sweaty. I be hot. I get it. Babies are batteries. Fuck. You don't even need space heat. You got a baby. Especially put a blanket on that baby, you warm. So I get it, you're gonna be hot. And that, you got it's under boob heat being pressed with the baby, right? I get it. It's probably like hell for y'all. But again, it's just the scary part, because it's like, boom, y'all girls, y'all go out, do a thing, boom, one of y'all come up missing. That happens every other week. Somebody missing.
I don't know. I'm a little different on that one. I feel like, so one of the things that I feel with my daughter is making sure that she gets into self-defense classes, making sure that she is able to handle herself. It is my responsibility as her mother to make sure that she goes on that path. She at least sees that path. Mm-hmm. So that when it's time for her to make those own decisions when she is older, that she is not left out defenseless. But I'm not going to tag along with her every time she decides that she's going to walk down the street. Myself with anxiety on the what ifs, because I don't have trust in human race at all. I look both ways on a one-way street.
Hey, for real though, for real.
The only thing I could do is, if that is a fear of mine and that is a possibility for her, the only thing that I can do is push her in this direction of, hey, let's show some more independence. Let's show some more strength in your convictions, and let's show yourself, do the self-defense classes.
No, yeah, definitely. Because I always say, like, for there to be so many hood people, so many hood guys, like I'm saying, hood, redneck. I'm not going to use any more social statements. because I don't know anymore that's not like how we explain chupacabra is a real offensive slur. So putting those in the same categories. Like self-defense isn't just the fighting. It's also teaching them the social awareness of certain things. How we have, I love that, what was that, 2020, rest in peace to Barbara Walters. I'm so sorry we never got her to do she should have done the 2020 ball drop. That we missed that. We missed it. Yeah, we missed it. Unless we get Fetty Wap to come back for 2038. 17 was it 28, 38? We get him to come and do that. We'll redeem her soul a bit. But we had the whole exposés on like what would you do on like the drugs and the drinks. We've got those engineers doing the nails with like, oh, nail polish, boom. That's the thing. That's the social awareness to tag in. And for us, me beat 'em chest. That's what a lot are trying to say. And it's like, oh, get to ask her you more questions than a little bit. Because it's like, who you going out with? Because it's not I don't trust you. It's one of that one friends you got in that group is your hoe friend. I'm not accusing you of joining in the hoe activities with that friend either. But they don't know how to get this. Again, me just beat 'em chest. She gonna be leading some dude on. It's gonna be some dude she leads on. And again, me beat him chest. If me beat him chest and me is toxic man, me is in that situation looking like, oh, the whole friend group got to be going. And unfortunately, we know that whole way things look versus blah, 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 blah. That's where the argument will spark because they don't know how to say it out loud. Like, no, girl, I don't want you getting kidnapped because your one friend going to be trying to get y'all free drinks all goddamn night. And then by the end of the night, this dude who's invested time into y'all think he's going to keep moving on. And y'all jokes are going to be, why you think you can hit? I just was with you for 5 hours. I spent the whole night with just you. Yeah, I thought we was doing something, not just because I was buying you drinks, but you was leading me on like we were going to. We can't say that though, because folks would be, now it's my right to dance. You American, and you dancing like a soccer fat. That's a problem. Like somebody like, what? No, yes, I'm a millennial. I was them basement juke parties. Y'all knew what y'all was doing. Y'all knew what y'all was. I got in trouble in high school because of some dancing shit. Like, it's the video. There's no way that they could have been convinced because the grain of the video at the time, they couldn't tell whether or not the girl parents was down enough for us to actually have been doing it because of the way the dancing was. So yeah, I know it. That's what I'm saying, people. You over here at a soccer fest, you've been duty winding this nigga. You've been busting it up. You've been in a full split. You've been wrapped around this man's face like a face hugger from Predator. Now, I said Predator specifically because I'm talking about that Pred Alien one. That Pred Alien face hugger is gonna get you. That motherfucker can think. It's gonna get you. But you asking him why since he didn't spend the last 5-6 hours, he smelled like you fully.
So, social awareness and setting boundaries.
Say it louder for the people. Setting boundaries, because consent's everything. But you got to set the boundaries. So, boundary, like I stated earlier, folks who know me, y'all know I've become friends with y'all because the line crossed because I started hugging you. You'll see me blatantly not touch other people. But, we are here now. that's my spectrum is below normal people. I liked COVID. And I liked lockdown, where everybody was social distancing. And let me say I liked COVID. That sounded horrible. Time travel, which I'm not. No poking bears. I like the disc where everyone was blatantly away from each other. I love that. Like, yes, Spy, you got to be on me. Help. Why are you talking to me? You just rubbing my back. Why this? Like, yeah, because of the social awareness, setting boundaries. There's a. I would, because I was trying. It was the question. They said, can men and women really be friends without having sex? There is a list of y'all, meaning, and this y'all is not a proverbial y'all. You were on the list, where it's like, oh, these are my friends. They're super attractive though. I be saying it all the time, like, yeah, Robin, the fine white girl, like, she's one of my fine friends. Love it, especially a festival where I'm like, girl, swing that fire, swing it. Swing it. I'm living for this. Do it more. Need a movie of this. Just you doing this set to a dope ass transient track. I'm like, all these women that I find attractive, that doesn't mean we have to do a thing, because these women that I consider my friends, we started off as like associates or friends. I never thought to cross that line. Like y'all became mermaids to me as we was friends. Like it
Oh,
wasn't, the mermaid manatee theory. Not to say you was ever hit or nothing, but it was just you were a woman. That was just like you were a woman, but okay. But she's cute. Okay. Like was I supposed to keep? So that
yeah.
statement I made.
Now that you mention it, so like one of the big debates that I get within my circle is this mythic friend zone.
Yeah. 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 See, and I love it because that's what I was the point I was trying to get at. Because like the friend zone doesn't exist. Because y'all on the list, that women list, pretty women list. If we was on the deserted island, once we committed to being on the island, and we like started building that Wookiee village, that's what's gonna be like, hey, Rhonda. Hey, we been here for a while. It just, but it wouldn't start. We cuddling day one to get cold. But again, safety is like the big thing. I don't.
I'm just
And I was
saying,
trying.
the island is not going to get cold.
Hey, it gets once that sun go down, it's gonna be cold as a motherfucker. I know, and
Okay.
it's gonna be cold as fuck. We gonna look, and we gonna trade off being the big and little spoon. Look here, I want to get cuddled. Would it be
But my
hell?
back's cold switch.
For real though. You don't have to do this. That's it. And that's when they started saying, like, because of course I delivered that in a bit way, but it was like, there's no way that can happen. The main point I was trying to get at, most people, hence why we have this simp word for guys. Let me talk to my cisgendered heterosexual males and most of the wielders. That's what happens. You know good and goddamn well you couldn't be friends with that girl, that receiver, because you knew you wanted to smash the moment you walked up. That's when you know, because you don't want her to be your friend. You want her to be. That's what I feel like the friend zone is. I feel like if you're friend zoned, it's you could. That the friend zone for me, the way I process it, the way people use it, is your roster. But it's like under like five, like you have a limit of like, oh, this is the top list. When I gets the call, everybody else is like, you can filter into the list with enough points. That's what I feel like it is.
Yeah,
What?
I do. I feel like that's what people call the friend zone. I've got people on my list that I will not have sex with because, well, most humans have some kind of attachment disorder, and they think it's going to be more than that. And because I'm open about those types of things, it can be just sex. You can have those emotions, and part of being able to love everybody and certain aspects of things, they get confused because of their societal norms. Now, I don't want that to get confusing with people on that list for me, so it just doesn't happen.
Exactly right. No, like that's just the thing. Like, no, we just keep it simple. That's not a prudish way of looking at it, or what you call it. That's the common decency that I feel like we supposed to have like stuck or keep going. But now we've blurred the lines because folks want to lie to themselves. Is no, that's what you wanted. You wanted them. Let's put it for the receiver side, because that's where the arguments I usually get into. Like, no, you knew you wanted that man. You wanted that man. You just want, but you feel more boosted with them being a harem. There we go. Most receivers want harems.
It comes back to inflating ego and expectations.
Yeah.
People have expectations. They have, I don't want to dilute the word hope, but they have self expectations that they think because of a societal norm that this situation is you're supposed to experience this with this situation. But that's not the same for everybody. So now you're holding silent expectations on someone else without having that boundary of communication.
That's such a thing. And then folks, y'all know what side of that y'all sit on as far as when it gets toxic. That's our main thing. At least you're toxic. If you know you the toxic one, no, come on, do something about it. Just pull out, pull back. Cause folks like I hated the way cancel culture evolved into revenge culture with the toxic people taking over, because like most of the things people complain about and want to cancel people for, they never experience themselves. So they'll take a situation that's not it, i.e. every white woman who does something annoying to you isn't a Karen. She just did something annoying. She wasn't being a Karen. You're irritable. Like that's what like it's not a like the police. We'll never get a stability with the police reform because of the amount of people who put more pressure on the cops. You can't be a dick at all the police because they're not gonna learn the proper stability. Like you ain't never like I'm from Bellwood, Illinois. Our cops in Bellwood are pretty cool. Most of them are black, like and are minorities. Honestly, I grew up with the cool side. Granted, Bellwood, Illinois is 15 minutes out of the city, so I do know what goes down. However, you can't be the one you going to protest against in Iowa versus like in the Iowa in your city protesting the police, but like your city ain't never your police is good. Your police got a low crime rate about like killing civilians, but you protesting your police for what? Travel. You got to travel for that. You over here want to like be an activist for women. You want to be an activist for receivers as a whole because it's more the fem like the feel like that it was a lot of feminist point got halted because yeah, that pink tax is ridiculous. Buying girl clothes makes no sense. Miss Rose's like clothes shouldn't be the same price as mine. That's really confusing. Shadow me like you only three. How's your shirts and shit like 15, 20, $30? I'm confused. It's like a handkerchief worth of cloth. Should use it anyway. Shoes. I mean, you didn't choose to have a period anyway. It's not like, I feel the same with glasses. Like, why are we paying for glasses? I didn't choose to be blind. You didn't choose to have a period. We're not just gonna rip the thing. It got paused because it was a lot more. It wasn't women's rights being fought for. It was receivers' rights. And that's when it like broke down. It's like, no, I respect your sexuality fully, but my man's, I will call you sis, all of that. But as soon as you curl your fist at me, I call you my man's. Because if a cisgendered heterosexual woman curls her fist at me, I'd be like, my man's, chill. Like I get hit in the face, I'm gonna accidentally swing back on a girl, on a cisgendered heterosexual woman. I would have to literally catch myself from knocking her out. You built like me, but you got a wig on and some lip gloss. Nah, nigga, you remember that. That's what you look like. I get off work. I know I look homeless. I work in a restaurant. I know I look stained for the guys. I got the same coat that's got the super sucked in grease stains because these are the clothes that's always at work. I know I look homeless. I got the hobo gloves, that's the mitts that flip into the fingerless. I live in Chinatown. It's tiny little Asian people and tourists walking around all the time. I make sure I take the credit of like not scaring them because I walk fast. I make sure I walk to the side, get on the curb sometimes if I have to squeeze by. No, I know I'm gonna scare the shit out of somebody. So I'm pretty cool about it.
But so you're just consciously aware.
Thank you.
Because you're a big.
I guess I carry myself bigger than I actually am or something. I know I be listening to I be in my music walking too. It's cold too, so I be pumping. I'm bumping through these streets. Like, oh yeah, it's just on the list. Like present, and I love that. That's kind of we keep coming back to that point because I'm for it. Guys with the nail polish, I'm for it. Do your thing. But if you one of the men that want to have your nails polished, you can't simultaneously be one of the guys who's also be one of the guys who's going to bash the gays.
I kind of get where you're going on that. So if you're going to make a statement, at least do your research and find out where that statement is coming from, because you're going to put off signals that, I mean, if you're doing it because it's bad, know where that bad comes from. Because in some communities, doing that is supporting people that are actively using their soul comfort and painting their nails because they feel comfortable doing that. And there are other people that support people who do that, so they do it so they don't feel like they're alone. So when you go to another community, and it is, people traveling from Ohio to Chicago, like in this little area, this is what's going on. But you go to Chicago, and then you've got people who are painting their nails for other reasons, and then they're going to be a bigot about things. It's kind of confusing, and I get it.
It's so because we're at the point right now where we are going to reach a weird utopia point. We're going to reach. I feel like in our lifetime, we're like because we on American soil we haven't really seen war. If we can, and we've been holding on to that. It's mutually assured destruction. Why we haven't seen real war on our streets anyway. But
I knocked on wood for you.
thank right. I was. We'll knock a few more times because you're right. But like we can get to that point. We're at the point now where yeah, I love being an adult in Ohio going to the gay clubs. What is that? The mask. Oh, it's
Love the
safe.
math.
It's so fun. It's you. Nobody fighting. Nobody boxing.
And no one thinks you're gay because you're there.
They just hit the turn up. Now, granted, listen, with some coworkers, he was gonna get taken alive. They was gonna eat him up. You watched the whole drag show. It was announced it was a drag show. Announced these were drag queens. He at the end, we thought he was just being a good sport because he wound up topless. I think his name was Zach. Ooh, if I can remember your last name, Zach. This was Applebee's in 2013. 2013, 2014. Zinho Ohio. Man, he was on stage topless with the cowboy boot. He already had the cowboyish camouflage hunter fit with the boots, and he was on stage topless in a full Monty scenario with if I can remember her name, because she said she was a mother, like she was one of those had a house for everything, and I'm like the words being used lets you know this is a man. It's letting you know this is a drag queen, this is a man, like blatantly saying about. And folks kept dropping their voice too. He's like, man, that's cool. How she could just become a baritone. I'm thinking the whole time, oh, he's thinking he just woke. He being a sport. Like, oh, no, he being a good sport about this. At the end of the night, after he came back off stage and one of them brought him his shirt and he got all these lipstick kisses down his body. He was like, man, I don't know which one of those were the girls. I'm like, huh? I was like, you mean the girls, right? With a U? He was like, no, some of those was like chicks, right? I know some of them was dudes, but some of them was, I'm like, go home. Go home, find out. Go ahead. I think they might get, because you look like you enjoyed yourself. Because I see you. You had some tight pants, brother, when they was kissing on you. I saw what happened. I was looking at it. So no, I said we reaching the point. We reaching the point. Almost everybody has a gay best friend, and it's not offensive to say that someone's your gay best friend. And that's no longer an offensive term, so to speak. Because my other co-host, he's my hood ma'am. Got his name in my phone. Hood ma'am. He's non-binary, I think. I don't. Let me not misquote what I believe he's non-binary, but because he genuinely says he don't give a fuck.
Okay, so not to be the devil's advocate. Okay. But to say, I'm not a gay bigot because my best friend is gay, it's kind of like saying I'm not racist because my best friend's black.
You're right. We at that point now where now it's new terms for it now. So it's gonna be a rough transition to get to this utopia. Because that is it. I be trying not to say shit like that. But it's like, you're a homophobe. I'll be like, what do I say that doesn't sound like my best friend's black? Like, how do like, it's nothing short of me kissing you. Like, I'd have to kiss you or something, but I'm not doing that. Like, that's, like, how do I prove you not weird? But again, I'm a troll. So I've been in that situation. So I'm like, what? You can have sex right in front of me. Go ahead. Fuck your man. Fuck him. Help him right now. Get in him. I'm a troll.
Don't forget to reach around.
What's that Key and Peele sketch? It was like the later season. It was in the car. He's like, I'm so not homophobic. I could like have another gay man's body part, like in my body part. I mean, like what are you saying? Are you saying you would have sex with a gay? He's like, no, I mean, like a dentist. No. I will say this though. This is on my bigoted list of jokes. That is like, don't if you're a bigot or a homophobe, don't crack this joke because I crack it with love. Uh, I would really prefer for like my primary physician to be a gay guy, you know? It's like, yeah, like a woman handling your NARS, like, oh, yay. But it's like, no, I'd rather have a gay man be the guy who has to check out my junk. Because not only is he an operator and owner of the equipment, he's also an avid consumer, of like said equipment. So it's like you got a doctor gate,
Interest.
fascinating interest. Like that's the whole thing. Like, yeah, like, oh yeah, he knows. He handles this equipment on a daily basis and on another party daily basis. So it's like, oh yeah, he knows you got a gay doctor telling you have a nice dick. Healthy. All right.
Hey yo, waiting for the block to tell me something. Gotta get up early, get to running. So by the afternoon, I can get this done. Haters gonna hate, but shit, that ain't nothing. Waiting for the block to tell me something. Gotta get up early, get to running. So by the afternoon, I can get the stunting. Haters gonna hate, but shit, that ain't nothing.
I gotta move, you gotta move, we gotta move. Let's get the groove. I'm in the mood. Tight up the tunes, tight up the grooves. Something to do, breaking the news, throwing the red, mixing the blue, keeping the royal, shining like foil, keeping it tight. I spring like a gun coil. All on the head, got a thought spoil. Throw out the bands, make a dance for it. Booty so big, got the pants for it. Booty so good, making plans for it. Traveling, I got the gas for it. Not a pimp, but I could pass for it. About 100 on the dashboard. I know I said demand for it. Hustling like it's a damn sport.
Hustle, grind, hustle, grind, hustle, grind, hustle, grind, hustle, grind. Rise and shine, time to hustle, grind, hustle, grind, hustle, grind. Rise and grind, time to hustle, grind, hustle, grind, hustle, hustle. Rise and grind, time to hustle, hustle, grind, hustle. Waiting for the block to tell me something. Gotta get up early, get to running. Hustle, shine, time, get the style. Get the haters on that hate the shit. Rise and grind, time to hustle, grind, hustle, grind, hustle, 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 grind, hustle, grind, rise and grind, time to hustle.